I've got different colored socks on tonight.
Oh,
Sure
don't
do.
draw notice to it.
I'm wearing them with my Crocs because we're passing with the Grey Company, and I thought, what better way to fight the Grey Company than with different colored socks? Welcome back to Full of a Took.
That's a thick leg.
Welcome back to Full of a Took. We're here to talk about the passing of the Grey Company, which is the second chapter of the fifth book of the Lord of the Rings from the novel The Return of the King.
Woo!
Which is part 3.
You got that all right on the first try.
Damn right.
Nicely done.
I'm really happy with that.
You hear that, Chris? You're getting a gold star.
It's only taken
really
me 50
impressed.
hours of doing this to get that down.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you guys. I have a lot of mixed emotions about this chapter. I really enjoyed it. I also got very upset at a couple things. I have one more character, and it would have went to the next page. I went to the end of Google Doc, the very last character you can even put on the page. But I really had a good time reading this. It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. The Return of the King so far is very interesting. It's a mix of really detailed descriptions and the most vague run through of very important paragraphs.
So last episode, Gandalf and Pippin arrived in the besieged city of Gondor. They were brought before the ruling steward Denethor, and Pippin told him about the death of his son Boromir, which led to Pippin offering his service as a token of gratitude. Denethor accepted his offer, and Pippin became a member of the Guard of the Citadel. As Pippin began to explore the city, he was assigned a guide, Baragond, to show him around and help him learn his duties. Later that evening, a darkness fell over Minas Tirith, and Gandalf explained to Pippin that there would be no dawn. The darkness had begun.
Ooh. Fucking rad.
I love the end of that
He's talking
chapter.
about Dawn, the cleaning solution.
It was gone.
There will be no Dawn.
None.
Nope, none of that junk on my cloak.
Sorry.
Those
Dirty
poor
little duckies.
ducks.
Yeah.
No, I just love that ending of that chapter. It's so ominous. It's like the daylight and positivity is over.
Yep.
The darkness has begun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get you in the morning. Scratch that. No morning. We'll just come for you.
Yeah.
It is really powerful
Yes.
Right.
how we leave that.
Yeah.
Because he is sort of like, yeah, by the way, there's not going to be a morning. And Pippin's like, what? And it's just like, see you next week on...
This is a chapter about the gathering of the power of the West. Remember, Gandalf said, I returned at the turn of the tide. This is part of that. So they've smashed Saruman. So now they're going to gather all the strength of the West at Minas Tirith for the siege of Minas Tirith, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that Pippin is trapped in, the thing that Gandalf is preparing for, the thing that Théoden and the Rohirrim are now summoning the army together to go fight. But what does that leave us with? We still have Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli and Merry just kind of like hanging out.
Not on Lamborghini horses.
Right. Regular,
Normal horses.
mostly normal horses. And where the story picks up for them is right after Gandalf has stolen his Palantír back from Pippin and then presented it to Aragorn as the rightful owner, the rightful heir of Númenor. So the question is then, what is Aragorn's plan? He's still kind of iffy at this point. All he knows is Théoden is going back to Edoras, to Dunharrow, to the muster, the gathering of the warriors of Rohan. And so Aragorn's like, yeah, it probably seems like a good thing to do. We'll figure this out as we go. They head out at night because they're all afraid of the Nazgul again. And so Théoden, his 20 warriors, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, and Merry are riding back into Rohan. They cross back over the fords of Isen, and they're riding through the night. But after they cross that ford, one of the riders comes up and says to the king, we're being followed. Someone's coming fast. They're going to overtake us. So Théoden does the only reasonable thing, says, hold up, pause, pulls everybody together. Everybody gets armed. Merry has a moment for himself where he's like, I'm still just a piece of baggage to this. I don't really know what's going on. What if I escape? What if there's another battle and I escape? But then I'm lost alone in an endless sea of Rohan. I ain't doing that again. And he pulls out his knife. It is time for him.
Yeah.
He's ready. He's going to die in defense of the king because he doesn't have a better plan. So who shows up? It's a bunch of riders come out of the darkness and they declare to Théoden and Éomer and the rest. Hi, we're looking for Rohan. Oh, great, we're here? Excellent. Also, we're looking for Aragorn, son of Arathorn. Do you know him? Have you seen him? Well, who the fuck are you? It's me, Halbarad, Dúnedain of the North. I'm kinsman to Aragorn, and I'm looking for the guy. Where you at? And
Couldn't believe this.
yeah, and Aragorn's like, me, it's me. I'm here. You found me.
It's me. Hi. I'm the
prophet, it's me. I'm the
Yes.
prophecy, it's me.
Yes. And so there's this. So the riders that are, no longer ambushing the king of the Rohirrim are Dúnedain. It's 30 Dúnedain of the North. It's really fucking cool because, to this point, we've only met one ranger, and it's Aragorn, and he's a boss, and everyone is super stoked that now there's 30 Aragorns.
Yeah.
But Halbarad says, also, Aragorn, I have a message for you from Elrond. He says, if time gets short, remember the paths of the dead. And Aragorn's like, yeah, fuck that. Every day is short, man. This is nothing special. Well, then also, I have the words of Arwen. And Aragorn's like, what? Really? My girl? And Halbarad's like, yeah. She says to remind you that days are growing short, and also she made this for you. Because Halbarad's got a big stick covered in black cloth. And Aragorn's like, I think I know what that is, but we're not going to open this present right now.
Oh my God. She was like, the valleys grow moist.
No! 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 I made this poll in memory of you.
Oh no.
That's why it's bagged.
I actually love the way he says it. He's like, this is from the Lady of Rivendell.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even say her name, but everyone knows who she is. And he's like, she made it in secret.
Mhm.
And then it's this 14-foot pole. I'm like, how secret was it?
Well, here's the thing. Do you think he's playing that up because of who else is there? Because in addition to the 30 Dúnedain Rangers, these kinsmen of Aragorn's from the north, these, traces of the ancient kingdom, these chieftains, there's also Elrond's murder boys.
Yeah.
Remember talking about Arwen's brothers?
Yep.
Who, after their mom was captured by some orcs, basically vowed war forever.
Yeah.
Well, they heard about the biggest, best war going on, and by God, they're going to be a part of it.
They
I
heard about
didn't
all
realize that's who they were.
They heard about all those dead orcs, and they were like, we are in.
Yeah.
I knew they were brothers, but I didn't realize that was Arwen's brother.
Yeah.
Just like
Elrond's
those-
sons.
Oh my God.
We're meeting
Yeah.
Elrond's whole extended family because we've met his mother-in-law and his father-in-law. We've met Elrond. We've met all three of his children.
Elrond and Elrond Jr. and Elrond Mini.
Elrondo.
Or Eladan. Eladan and Elrohir?
Elronda.
Is it Eladan?
Elladan and
Elladan and
Elrohir.
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 yeah. Elladan and Elrohir.
Just
right?
flows off the tongue.
It's the boys. But do you think Halbarad is churching things up because the brothers are there?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It feels a little right.
Makes
it's
sense.
the only explanation.
It's what you do when there's elves nearby. You try to look important and cool.
No, nobody wants those murder twins to know they're screwing his sister. You know what I mean? Like Aragorn's on the keep it on the DL, dude. They're like, what have you done to my sister? It's like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Alone at night with her murderous twin brothers.
Fun.
Yeah, actually.
Who sleep with their eyes open.
Staring at you. As fun as that is, everybody gets back on their horses and continues riding because Aragorn still hasn't quite made up his mind what to do, so he's just going along with the ride. And they're headed back to Helm's Deep to get all the boys together because, again, they're gathering the strength of the West. And right now that means the Rohirrim. So they ride through the night. They get to Helm's Deep. They all go to sleep. And bright and early next morning, Merry is kicked awake by Legolas and Gimli. Hey, Slug, get up. You want to go for a tour? This was really cool. We played some real fun games here. All Merry can think about is, wow, I didn't get enough sleep for this. And they're dragging him around Helm's Deep. Yeah, we killed some orcs over there. And that's where the hole in the wall is. That's where that dude died. There's a pile of corpses out there. Want to see the cool caves? There's no time for the cool caves, Gimli. Okay, fine. And they make their way up to the Hornburg because the only thing left is okay, I guess we'll wait for Aragorn because nobody really knows where he is.
He disappeared.
Yeah, nobody really knows where he's at. And remember, the Hornburg is the central tower of Helm's Deep. It's the keep, the fortress within the fortress. It's where they hacked apart Hamma.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah, they hewed up the boy. But again, they go to the Hornburg because nobody has a better idea of what's going on, except that might be where lunch is at. So Merry goes and he sits with Théoden because Théoden had said previously, Merry, I want you to come to Edoras and I want to sit and talk history with you. I want to learn about hobbits. I want to learn about you. This is fascinating and crazy. Because to Théoden, hobbits are like one more thing out of legend. They're only one step removed from Ents to him. So like he's got elves, he's got dwarves, he's got hobbits, he's got Ents. They killed a wizard. Well, they didn't kill the wizard, but they blew up a wizard fortress. Like shit's been real weird for him the last couple of days. And Merry is a part of that package. So anyway, he kind of pats the bench. Merry sits up next to him and they have like a brief lunch because, you know, the Théoden kind of realizes like we're not going to have time for like a proper sit down meal basically any time in the near future. But let's talk now while we can.
Yeah.
So they're having lunch and Mary's kind of like, oh, what next? And Théoden's like, well, you're going to ride with us. We got you a pony and we're going to try and get you some weapons and some armor, but we don't really have anything in your size. So I don't know how we're going to do that. And Mary's like, but I have a sword. And Mary's kind of overcome with having a purpose. So, and about being included in this because now he's back on the adventure train. He's no longer baggage. And so he offers his sword to Théoden. He offers his fealty to Théoden. And Théoden accepts. He's overwhelmed. He says, awesome. You're part of the household guard now. You're one of the boys. And Mary's like, I'll love you like a father. And Théoden's like, you know what, bud? While I last.
Not for long.
Yeah, classic Théoden.
Yep.
Don't get attached, buddy.
Yeah, right? I'm on my way out. I'm driving.
He's like, I'm going to keep saying that till it happens.
What does he say? He leans over and he goes, you ever hear about the theory of ride and die? My good friend.
Every time. Just waiting for it to happen.
He's trying. Good God, he's trying.
Roads where we're going, we don't need roads.
And it's kind of fucked up if you think about it, because like Mary's having this really intense emotional moment. Like, I'm going to see you as a father figure. He's like, I'm about to die.
Just make that grandfather, please. I'm on my way out.
It's a very interesting contrast to Pippin's interactions with Denethor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after that heartwarming exchange, where Mary's love is denied, everybody says, well, where's Aragorn? We're getting ready to leave. And Aragorn comes basically down the stairs in the Hornburg and he comes out of this chamber because he like locked himself in there with Halbarad all night. Everybody's looking around like, yeah, where's that Dúnedain? Actually, where the fuck did all these Dúnedain come from?
Yeah.
Why so many Dúnedain all of a sudden? Maybe there's a satisfactory answer, but we don't get it at the moment.
And this is like lunchtime.
Yeah. Like the next
It's like
day.
cafeteria.
It's like the next
high school
day.
cafeteria. Everybody's leaning over the tables like, where the fuck these guys come from?
Yeah, right. You know, and Gimli and Legolas are gossiping like high school girls. Then Aragorn re-enters the scene because he had, again, locked himself up with Halbarad all night. Nobody's really sure what was going on, but Aragorn looks way worse for wear. And
You can't word it like that.
I can and I am. I don't want to hear it from you.
They're supposed to be kinsmen.
He's exhausted.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Get any fucking sleep.
Théoden is like, hey, we're leaving. It's time to go. We're going to Dunharrow. And everyone's like, hold up. How long is it going to take you to get there? 3 days to get to Dunharrow because you're going to sneak through the hills at night because you're afraid of Nazgul. Not a bad idea. And then on the fourth day is the muster of the Rohirrim. That's the day when he left to go to war. He had set a date for everyone to gather for like the real war.
Okay.
And now that day is 4 days away. And Aragorn's like, oh man, yeah, I can't wait 4 days for what I got to do. And he was like, what do you got to do? He's like, I have to get to Minas Tirith by the fastest possible road. The paths of the dead? And no one's jazzed about this. Everybody looks at him like he's fucking nuts. Like, paths of dead? Gimli and Legolas are like, that doesn't sound fun. And all the Rohirrim are like, because it ain't fun. It's the paths of the dead. People don't, that's a dead man's road.
They don't let the living in there.
Right. And Aragorn is like, no, I am a special boy. They will let me go. I'm the heir of Isildur. I am the heir to Gondor. It's different for me. I'm built different. Okay, sure. Théoden, says, well, I'm going to miss you and I'm going to miss the Dúnedain, but I'll see you on the other side, kid. Peace. And they take Merry and go. And they just watch the king and Merry and all the riders leave. And the men that Théoden's taking is like 500 basic farmers, just like dudes from the area who've gathered up the last day or two. And that's the kind of people that they're scraping the barrel for right now. Théoden was serious when he said, bring every man, every old man, every young man, and every tall child. We're going to war. And that's who he's bringing. He grabbed about 500 of them from Helm's Deep. He sent another 1,000 warriors ahead of him. And at Dunharrow and Edoras and all the other major centers of Rohan, they're gathering everyone.
Yeah.
It's the army of the Rohirrim going to war. It is the people of the Rohirrim. It's like on a tribal feudal level.
It's all the Rohirrim.
Yeah. They don't have soldiers. They have warriors. That's what this gets you. Everyone goes. So they leave. And now it's Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli. And they're like, so what the fuck, dude? And Aragorn replies, well, I saw some shit in the Palantír, maybe? And Gimli is justifiably upset that Aragorn has locked himself in a room for a night and done mental battle with Sauron, the Dark Lord. And Aragorn is pleased to tell them that it went well, despite all of Gandalf's worries, despite all of Pippin's visions, despite everyone having a reasonable and healthy fear of this magic crystal ball that lets you see into Satan's heart.
Last time anybody looked in it, they all had to flee.
Yes.
Aragorn's just like, oh, okay,
This is
my
mine.
turn.
Not only is he going to look, he's going to stare.
Oh boy.
Because it's not like he was like, interesting. He probably sat for like 3 hours.
He's going to instigate Sauron.
He is.
You know?
Well, because Aragorn says, you know, I had the strength to do this. And everyone's like, really? He says, well, yeah. It was a close thing, but I did. And that's a big deal. Because what Aragorn has accomplished is he took the Seeing Stone of Númenor, one of the Palantír, one of the rock that Sauron used to corrupt Saruman.
Stone of Orthanc.
The Stone of Orthanc. He took that as rightful owner, dialed up Sauron for a team meeting, stared him in the eye and said, I am the heir of Isildur. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. In Aragorn's own words, that fucked Sauron up. He didn't like that because he didn't know that Aragorn as a person was alive. He did not realize that there was a direct descendant still walking around. By the way, he also showed him the sword reforged, the Flame of the West. The last time that sword was together, it cut Sauron's ring from his own hand.
Can you imagine this moment?
I wish we would have gotten to see it. Like, I wish Sauron would have been in the chapter.
Can we just talk about this moment for a quick second?
I know.
Because Aragorn is in his room and he's like, shing. And he goes, look at that.
Look what I got.
Just picture Matthew McConaughey. What do you think of this? Huh? Ooh, oh, you know this sword. Oh, you know this sword. Just like taunting the fuck out of this guy through a crystal ball. But also on the other side, like it almost feels like a scene of like Michael Scott in The Office, because it's like you just can't in any way, shape, or form look cool doing that. You just can't.
I think he could.
I don't think
if anyone can pull it off, it would be Aragorn.
Yeah.
Talking about himself in the third person.
Well,
Oh my God.
Tell me how it's cool. Explain
Pulls
it.
the sword out and he just puts it next to his face and he just stares at him.
How I imagine it is Sauron is like, who are you? I imagine as Sauron being like, who are you? Like kind of what he did with Pippin. And before he could read his mind, Aragorn's
I'll be
like,
Sauron. Who are you?
you know who I am. Look into my face. I am the heir of Isildur.
Larry.
And then he's like, and this is the sword reforged. And then he says the name and Sauron's like quaking his boots. And then the best part is Aragorn shuts him out of the ball. He's like, fuck you, this is mine.
Yes.
It's the best video call of all time.
Yeah. Because that's the third thing Aragorn does.
Yes.
Is he wrenches control of the Stone of Orthanc from Sauron. He's like, hi, yes, I'm back. Daddy's home. I'll be taking the toys. And like, he's like, I think I did a pretty good job with spooking the big bad guy.
You got to have some balls of steel to do that.
Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I feel like the only other character that can fully shut Sauron out is Galadriel.
Yeah.
So that's so fucking cool that Aragorn was like, he is out of this stone. This is now fully a Númenorian object again. That's so cool.
But, for all the good that Aragorn feels he's done, he also saw some shit because he tells everybody that, like, Minas Tirith has 10 days. In 10 days, Minas Tirith falls.
Oof.
If we don't get there. And Gimli looks around, he's like, oh, so they're just fucked then. Because we can't fly. Aragorn says, no, he sees the Corsairs of Umbar. He sees the naval attack that draws off all that strength. Remember when all the soldiers were marching into Minas Tirith and everyone was like, oh, wow, that was like 1/10 of the people we hoped for? All those soldiers are on the coast. They're in southern Gondor. They're fighting battles against the Corsairs, the pirates, the great fleet from the south. And Aragorn's like, yeah, we got to do something about that. That's the problem we need to solve.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to solve it. And everybody's like, okay, we're listening. He says, in the paths of the dead, and people are like, nope, no longer on board. At the end of the path of the dead is a big rock, and we will summon the dead and the Oathbreakers. And basically, we'll gather up all the cursed ghosts we can, and then we'll do that. That's what we're going to do. That's the plan,
and then
guys.
We'll fight the big cursed ghost.
Yeah, that's the plan. And, he sells it. Because the Dúnedain are like, yeah, I guess ride or die, man. Cool. And the murder twins are like, more murder, better murder. Legolas and Gimli shrug and
super jazzed.
Not super jazzed. How could you be super jazzed? But they trust Aragorn because Aragorn is transformed. We've watched it happen. He went from being somebody when Gandalf was taken out of the picture to like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know how to take the ring forward. I don't know how to take the quest forward. I don't know what to do with myself. That's why he just like, we're going to rescue Merry and Pippin because that's the clearest path of action I have right now. That led to this moment. So it was a good choice. Yeah. But now he's acting not as a leader of the company, a leader of the Fellowship of the Ring. He's acting as the heir of Isildur. And he says, we're going to gather up these ghosts of the men who betrayed their oaths to old Gondor. We're going to gather up these criminals and we're going to take them to war because that's what they need to do in order to find eternal rest. We do that by going down the paths of the dead to the Stone of Erech, and there we will gather them and see what they have to say.
By the way, these Oathbreakers are fully dead.
Right. It is a whole shitload of ghosts.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
collecting ghosts.
The last time somebody really needed them, they did not come.
right. Bad track record. Very bad track record.
But they've had some time to think about it.
Yeah, so they've had like 2,500 years to think about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They might change their tune.
Well, Aragorn's going to find out.
He sure is.
We're all going to find out, as it turns out.
Next week on Lord of the Rings.
That would have been a great place to cut that chapter.
Honestly.
I'm actually surprised the Paths of the Dead didn't have its own big chapter.
I think that's what happened, actually, because Chris, you talked about some editing stuff, and I feel like that's what happened was 2 chapters became 1 chapter.
Yes.
And we lost out on a lot. So after having relayed all of this information to everybody, and nobody is, again, super jazzed about all this, they're like, okay, let's go. So they head to Dunharrow, which is the place where there's a gathering of the peoples of the Rohirrim. Like that's the plan, is that's where we're going to gather folk. One of the places. It's also the entrance to the paths of the dead. Also where all the people of Edoras were sent. Remember when Théoden left for Isengard with all the warriors, they sent all the women, the children, and Éowyn, leading them to Dunharrow to be safe.
Okay.
The paths of the dead is the fastest path to Minas Tirith because it cuts through the mountains. It cuts south directly through the mountain. So the Grey Company, being the Dúnedain, Legolas and Gimli, and then the Murder Twins, and Aragorn, of course, they ride. And they stop by Edoras and they just kind of check everything out, and then they plow on straight to Dunharrow. And when they show up, Éowyn's there, and she's like, "Oh, Lord Aragorn, fancy seeing you here. I can't believe you rode all the way out of your way to come see me. That's wild of you." And he's like, "Actually,
bitch move."
He's like, "Yeah, sorry, I am nope. If my heart could go anywhere, it would go to Rivendell. We're here for, the road through the mountains." And she's like, "What? There's no road through the mountains." You're so funny. And Aragorn's like, no, I'm taking the paths of the dead. And she's like, the actual fuck you are. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Dude, she's pissing me off in this moment so
Oh, no,
much.
come on. No, she's real, though. She's right.
She's not right. She's wrong.
Oh, no.
She's bad.
No, she's great.
She's double D bad.
No, she double D good.
Double O good.
Oh, what?
Oolong.
No, but for real though, Éowyn says like, what are you going to do down that cursed ass road? And he's like, this is my fate. This is what I have to do. I can't change this. You know, she tries to change his mind, and seeing that Aragorn can't be convinced not to go, Éowyn says, well, then take me with you. Please take me. Look at these. Everyone else is going with you. These men are going with you. These elves, dwarf, they're going with you out of love for you. Take me.
Wait, I love that moment. She's like, they're all going with you because they love you. And then she like runs away.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that was a little
And then
petulant
she's like,
child.
right away, she's like, and so do I.
She doesn't have to even say it. Her actions spoke louder. Like she can't even
Yeah.
get that out without tearing up and running. I was like, oh, you were badass. So you did
I
that.
think you're embellishing the tearing up, but
No,
yeah.
come on. No, Éowyn's going through some shit right now.
She is.
Her dreamboat just showed up out of nowhere, and she thought it was all about her.
She came out in white.
Yeah, she was ready. She's got her,
She
her
was
wedding
ready
dress
to
on.
marry in the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was like, it's time, I guess.
yeah.
He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, bitch.
It's very sad. But he's not having it because he knows what he has to do now. Not to get through the day, not to get through the week, not to get to the next step. He knows what he has to do for victory. And that is to go to Peligrir. That's to take the army of the dead through the southern end of Gondor. That's
Yep.
to sweep it clean of this pirate fleet. That's what he must do because Minas Tirith must be relieved. It must be helped. Because he saw in the Palantír 10 days. Best offer. Final offer, 10 days.
Yikes.
And he says, I have no help to send.
Yeah.
Therefore, I must go.
Right. And if I'm Halbarad or any of the other guys who've just ridden halfway across the world, I'm looking around going, he's not talking about us, is he?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
He said, I am the backup.
I am the Batman.
Yeah. They were like,
I am the Batman. You know, Aragorn's not having it though. And Éowyn's like, all right, whatever. So they go to sleep. They wake up in the dawn and Aragorn's ready to go. Everybody is ready to go. They're in their saddles. They had very little rest. They had very little food, but they have to continue their journey. And Éowyn comes back. She's trying again. But this time she's dressed as a warrior. And she's like, well, you know what?
all right, we're ready to go.
She's like, no, she's like, I will not be left here until she grows old and is of no use, until all thought or hope for glory is gone beyond recall or want.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to live the life she's being asked. She says, take me with you. Why the fuck won't you? And Aragorn responds reasonably. And he says, look, you don't want to do the job you're given. You don't want to lead these people to safety. You don't want to govern in the absence of your uncle. Say I took you with me and say someone else, some other captain, some other general had been left here instead. Would they be able to just walk away because they don't want to do the job? No. So you have to play by the same rules in that way. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
And that's a fucked up moment.
It's a tough
Yeah.
moment, man, because he's right. But also, you're kind of secretly wanting him to let her come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's like she was left behind because she's a woman, is what it feels like.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so she is trapped in that role forever because of her gender when really she wants to be out there fucking up dudes.
And that's one of my favorite quotes in the whole chapter is when he asked her, what does she really fear? And she says, a cage.
Yeah.
'Cause she's in one.
It's real. Like that exchange is an incredible moment because we learn a lot about Éowyn. We learn a lot about Aragorn. Because he's as kind as he can be, but he's also extremely clear and firm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just like, she gets on her knees and begs. And he's like, nope, don't do that. Lifts her up.
The
'Cause
twins are watching. Please don't get on your knees in front of me. Stop.
They will kill me. Like gets real close as like as he's
I
lifting her to her
literally
feet.
wrote a note about that too.
I don't know who she is. I don't know this woman.
She's like betting down in front of him. He's like, get up, get up.
I wrote, Éowyn and Aragorn must be careful. The brethren will report any deed doing to Arwen.
Oh.
It's not even gonna get to that. Aragorn died.
How?
Orcs, I guess.
What was his name? Maron? He killed him.
Yeah. But so he lifts Éowyn to her feet and is like, "We're leaving. You should do your duty. We all have parts to play. I'm sorry." Gets on his horse and fucking rides. And oh my God, that moment. But where are they riding to? Because the path out of Dunharrow, you either go back the way you came or you ride directly up what is called, quote, the Haunted Mountains.
Yay!
Yeah.
And you ride up this path to some black, dark trees at the foot of this mountain to something called the Dark Door. And it's just an opening in the side of the mountain. It's like Moria all over
Sounds
again.
familiar.
Except the door is open. The dead want you to come inside. They don't want to keep you out. And the place... They hungry. The place reeks of terror and fear. Wait, what?
Chris?
What's that? Terror?
It's terroir.
Is that fear?
Terroir?
What's that?
Tarragon?
Tarragon?
Reeks in here. What's that, terror?
Somebody light a candle.
I just imagine a candle that says terror and fear.
Oh, that's a good one.
It smells in here. It's terror and fear, Gimli.
That'll be a part of the Full of the Took merchandise.
There you go.
It is bad. It's very bad, actually, because really only Legolas is super chill about this whole thing. Because he's like, in addition to not sleeping, I also don't fear the ghosts of humans. That's silly. Why would an elf fear that? They're just dead people. Not even like people, just humans.
They're less impressive when they're see-through.
They're somehow less impressive. But Gimli is absolutely fucking floored by what's expected at this moment. Because Aragorn and one of the twins light torches. Aragorn goes first. The twin goes last. The Dúnedain are in the middle. And they go in through this dark door. They go into the paths of the dead. And Gimli is the last one there. And he's just like,
Having a little meltdown.
Yeah, he is. Because he's like, how can the dwarf be scared of this? The elf's in there. How can I be afraid to go in? How is this possible? And basically, he just shames himself into doing it. This place, this nameless, weird, whispering evil, this is not something Gimli can deal with. But he goes anyway.
His enemies are already dead.
Right. Because it's a long passage. It's one long passage that they go down. And we have this kind of interesting perspective switch because this chapter is cool because like we start off with a focus on Merry and Mary's feelings and like what is Mary's experience. And then Merry rides away. He rides out of the chapter. And we kind of switch back to Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn. And we get a lot of what Aragorn is thinking and feeling. And then Éowyn shows up and we get a shitload of feeling out of her, not a perspective from her, but like a very telling interaction. And then they ride away from her. And
we keep leaving hope.
Right. They leave hope.
Yeah.
And they proceed to the paths of the dead.
Yeah.
And then we're left with Gimli. Because like we don't get a lot of Aragorn perspective, like real in his mind, in his heart stuff. Because we don't know this Aragorn right now. We know Strider pretty well. We know Aragorn that we met previously pretty well. But this is the heir of Isildur. This is the king returning. He is different, and
This is Aragorn showing off for his buddies.
Right. This is Aragorn Platinum.
This is post Helm's Deep.
Right.
Aragorn.
Yeah.
We don't know him.
Yeah.
We don't, and we'll never know Legolas. Because all he can do is kind of quip how he's not really impressed by all this human bullshit. And just kind of like stroll in.
Him.
I imagine he's either asleep with his eyes open or he's whistling.
I just imagine Aragorn going, Legolas! Shut up.
Because Gimli's actually struggling to keep up. They're getting ahead of him. He's behind the last torch. It's dark and it's quiet. And in that quiet are just whispering voices that he does not understand the language of or the words of, but it is horrible. And it's following him and it's coming from everywhere and nowhere. The path of the dead is a tunnel. And then all of a sudden it opens up into a huge chamber. And Gimli kind of crawls into this chamber because like he is struggling to continue moving, but he has not stopped and he will not stop. But he's having a super bad time.
He's on his hands and knees.
It's like me in a haunted house.
Oh,
Oh man, I almost punched a dude in a haunted house once.
RJ knows I don't do well on those things.
You don't.
It was a lot of fun.
I love them. I'll go to every one of them. I'll be the first one to be like, you guys want to go to a haunted house?
Mhm.
And then we'll get there and I'll be like, I can't do it. I can't go in.
Just bring you a pillow to scream into.
Yeah.
to punch more like.
Yeah.
But the path opens up into this big chamber, and Gimli like looks off to the side, and there's something glittering in the torchlight, and Aragorn is like looking at some gold or something, and Gimli's just like, no, I love gold. I would be the first one over there, but can I just, for the record, like I would like to say, leave it the fuck alone and let's get out of here, because what Aragorn is looking at is kind of an armored and gilded, like dressed in gold skeleton, the skeleton of a king that is just laying like it had died alone in the dark in front of this stone door. And Aragorn looks at the skeleton, and he looks at the door, and he looks at the shattered sword that was being used to try to pry the door open. And maybe he looks at Gimli. And Aragorn says, these are the secrets of the dark times. I want nothing to do with this. And then he makes a pronouncement to the darkness, to these voices, these whispers, the dead. He says, I am calling the Oathbreakers. I am calling the fallen to the Stone of Erech. RJ, what is the actual line?
Speed only we ask. Let us pass and then come. I summon you to the Stone of Erech.
He makes that announcement to the dead. He's like, he's ringing the dinner bell. It's time. And then they proceed. And again, Gimli, like his whole world is shrinking, and we get everything through Gimli's perspective. And he's at the end. He is breaking. He's like, I can't go forward anymore. I need to get out of this place, or I need to turn around and surrender to the madness and just, I'm going to swing my axe at whatever shows. And that's when I'm wrong. That's when water is no longer the eternal foe. Water saves Gimli, because in that moment he hears water splashing, water running over rock. He hears this pure sound because they're at the end of the tunnel. They're at the paths of the dead. They've emerged out from under the mountain. They're now south of the White Mountains. They're in Gondor now. They're in this valley, the Morthond Vale, the valley where the Stone of Erech is. And it's a populated place. There's villages and shit, and there's lights and farms and all these people. And Aragorn and the Grey Company mount up and ride like hell. Because Aragorn says, we have until the end of the day to get to the Stone of Erech. So I don't know, maybe something about the pronouncement only lasts 24 hours. It's like one calendar day. Like
I was wondering about that.
Right? Like it has a timer built in. I don't know. Prophecy is weird. But Aragorn is pulling out all the stops. They've been riding on little to no sleep and little to no food for days. And Aragorn's will is the only thing dragging this party along. And they ride and they ride and they scare the living shit out of everyone. Because they ride out of the mountains at night. And Legolas looks behind and goes, Gimli, did you know the dead are following? And Elrond he's like, yes, the dead have been summoned. These riders come out of the mountain. They come out of this cursed door, the paths of the dead, this place that no one goes, trailed by ghosts, by an army of the dead. And everyone runs like hunted deer. People are just running in every direction. Yeah, I would freak the fuck out too if I lived in the valley at the bottom of the haunted mountains and suddenly the ghosts were up. I would freak the fuck out. Aragorn pays them no mind. They ride for the Stone of Erech, and they get there about 5 minutes to midnight. They get to this hill, and on top of this hill is a 6-foot stone sphere, a ball of black stone half buried in the top of this hill, brought from Númenor by the old kings. And this is the place where Aragorn calls the dead. One of the twins hands him a silver horn, and he blows it, and horns answer back out of this undead army. And Aragorn announces to them, I am Isildur's heir. I am the heir to Gondor. Oathbreakers, why have you come? And the dead reply, to fulfill our oaths and have peace. Because these ghosts are old. They're 2,500 years old. because these Oathbreakers swore to the king of Gondor to fight for him against Sauron. But in secret, they began to worship Sauron. So finally, when they were called to service, these mountain men, they said, no, thank you. We're on the other team. And Isildur, the king of Gondor, whom they have sworn this oath of service to, this oath of alliance, of friendship, of war, that they are now breaking. Isildur says, I curse you. You will have no peace until this oath is fulfilled. You will have no more kings. Your people will diminish and turn into nothing. You are nothing, but you will have no peace. These spirits have been restless since that time, 2,500 years. But now they're here. Now an heir of Isildur is calling them, and they're ready. They've had a long time to think about it. And yeah, they're ready to go fuck up some evil stuff. They're ready to go fight for the rightful king of Gondor. And then Aragorn turns to Halbarad and says, okay, it's time. I want the present. Because the thing that Halbarad has been carrying is not a spear. It's a banner. It's a flag. And Arwen has made it for him. And what's cool is that Tolkien tells us it is black. Black like the night. And if there's anything on it, we can't see it. Because it is dark. It's Aragorn's banner. And with that, they ride. They take the army of the dead and they ride east through Gondor. And everyone is fucking terrified. Now, Tolkien does a thing where we've had, word by word, minute by minute descriptions of a lot of things. Now we get the fast forward version. We get this action montage of Aragorn riding through an empty land because the people of Gondor are horrified. The king of the dead has arrived. And they flee from the king of the dead because Aragorn is riding east. He's riding to destroy the invaders. But he is leading 30 dudes, 2 murder brothers, his friends, and a host of ghosts. An army of the damned.
The hosts of the ghosts with the most. Aragorn!
Hey, thank you. But that's how the chapter ends.
I think that's such a cool way to end it. And once again, the dawn disappears to not return. So shrouded in darkness, lost to mortal sight. The host of the Grey Company disappears, but the dead is following them.
Yes.
That's such a badass way to end it.
Yes, it's that dawnless day.
Yeah.
Great parallel to the last chapter.
Yeah.
And now it is where the last chapter ended.
Correct.
Mhm.
We've caught up.
Yeah. So this is an epic chapter. It's really emotionally all over the place.
So much.
When it's slow, I want it to speed up. And when it speeds up, I want it to slow down.
I listened to it the first time and I missed so much. I really do need to be able to read it with my eyeballs and then go back and reread a paragraph when it doesn't make any fucking sense.
You had that problem when we watched the movie. Your ears did not work.
Oh, they don't work.
Unless you were reading, you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it's true.
You should get that checked out.
I probably have an auditory processing disorder. There's not much you can do for it.
Is that why you're always fighting with Pat? Because he doesn't.
We can never understand each other.
Subtitle his own words in real life as he's talking. So you just don't know what he's saying.
Yep. There's a lot of miscommunication.
So I think there's a lot to talk about here. I'm going to dive in pretty early on with something that truly shook me to my core. I was shooketh with joy because Mary doesn't know where he is.
And it shakes him to his core.
Yes.
He is lost.
And I needed that so bad.
Oh.
I can't tell you how bad I needed that. For him to finally understand what all the other hobbits have been feeling since the first day, which is, I don't know where we are or what we're doing or what I'm supposed to do.
So, if you're the old man of a group, if you have someone to look after, you kind of know, even if you don't know where the fuck you are, you know what you have to do, and it's take care of Pippin. But now Pippin is gone.
Yeah, and now he's a little scaredy bitch.
He's scared. Yeah, it's really shaking him. I feel like in this chapter, he is spiraling.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know where I am. And because of that, I'm useless. I'm baggage.
Mhm.
I'm completely just extraneous to this company and I can't help.
Which is really funny because he lost his baggage.
He
Aw.
did.
They
lose
make a
his
point of saying, like,
baggage.
he has nothing. He lost everything at the ambush at the end of the Fellowship of the Rings. He's got nothing.
He's got nothing.
He's got a
Pippin
pocket
has
full of
lost
spoons.
himself.
Oh my gosh.
He hasn't been the same since the orcs kidnapped them. But now that he's lost Pippin, I think he can finally like process his trauma or begin to, and that's why he's like so untethered.
Concussion make him sleepy.
Yeah.
Not
True.
him
He
and
also
Gimli.
really misses Pippin.
Yeah.
I think he's a little panicky without Pippin around.
Well, that would go to explain why when someone shows him just an ounce of friendship,
yeah.
he dedicates himself to him.
His life.
entire
He calls him
He's
daddy.
like-
His literal.
You want me around? I'll die for you,
Yeah.
Daddy.
What did RJ just say? What did you just say?
Oh, I said, and then he calls him daddy.
yeah.
It's true though. I shall
Daddy
love
Theo.
I love you, Daddy. For now.
And then his dad's like, I'm dying.
Daddy is very old.
Yeah.
Well, but like that's a really cool comparison, especially up against Pippin, who is like, chaos thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, Pippin and Merry go off in different directions in different chapters. They're both somehow creating kinship with kings and or stewards or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Basically the
rulers.
the ruler or whatever. The head honcho in charge of all the people around, not the crazy Dúnedain rangers of this. How about the child? How about he be my friend? I have questions about these men and their choice of companionship.
No.
Incorrect. I think part of it
I didn't
is-
write this.
So,
you can say no, but say it to Tolkien. I didn't write it.
I think what's interesting is that you can use this situation that Mary's in to bridge a lot of different relationships and to call a lot of things into contrast. One, Merry and Pippin, right? Why are they thriving and how do they thrive and like where do they struggle? That's one. The other thing is Merry has no idea what to do until Théoden picks him up and is like, we're going. And then suddenly Merry has a better sense of himself than Aragorn. And we have to watch the rest of the chapter unfold to figure out where Aragorn's at.
Let's talk a little bit about Halbarad. Halbarad Dúnedain, Ranger of the North,
How is his last name Dúnedain?
and
when he's
leader
a
of its
Dúnedain?
peoples.
Well, it's short for Dúnedain.
Kills me. Oh my god.
I really like the
How about
introduction of his character because we finally get to meet more of Aragorn's like family and like friends.
Yeah.
Like, we know he got close to the elves. The two twins are here, but then we also get to see some Dúnedain, people he grew up with, his kinsmen, his ranger folk. Like it's fun to see Aragorn in that
And they're
relaxed
like
setting.
in with the elves.
Right.
Yes. God, I think it's Gimli says that the Dúnedain make the men of the Rohirrim, these like hardened, hand-picked warriors, look like children.
Yeah.
Aragorn's like 90 years old. He's been fighting evil his whole ass life. And this is a whole set of them. And the only people who are harder than the Dúnedains are Elrond's murder twins who have like made a habit and a lifetime out of killing.
Yeah, that's Elro here and Eladan. Guys, I got a little bit thrown off by the little like whodunit that happened in the beginning.
Oh, the summons?
Just ask Legolas.
The Dúnedain said they had been summoned
By Aragorn.
by Aragorn, and Aragorn was like, "No, not me." So we're sitting.
He literally was like, that's funny. I didn't do that.
Yeah, we're
And
scratching. our
everyone
heads
was like,
"Who
what the fuck?
did this?" And then they're like, "Oh, maybe Gandalf did it through Galadriel or something." There was some weird language that I couldn't quite parse.
Yeah.
"Nay, Galadriel," said Legolas. "Did she not speak through Gandalf of the Ride of the Grey Company from the North?"
Yeah.
What?
When did Gandalf have a message from Galadriel? In the Two Towers, the chapter, The White Rider.
White Rider.
When they meet Gandalf and Gandalf's like, I have a message for each of you
Okay.
from Galadriel.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
He says, Legolas, you've had a fun trip, but don't find any seagulls. They'll fuck you up. Gimli, no real message, but I'm thinking about you, buddy,
Yeah.
which Gimli loves. And then Aragorn got this like really ominous riddle. And this is the message that Gandalf delivered to Aragorn from Galadriel, who sees the future sometimes.
Right.
Yes.
Where now are the Dúnedain, Elisar? Why do thy kinfolk wander afar? Near is the hour when the lost should come forth, and the Grey Company ride from the north. But dark is the path appointed for thee, The dead watch the road that leads to the sea. So you've known about this shit for like 200 pages.
Yeah.
Well, I completely forgot about it, so fuck that. But also, fuck.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
They're in.
There was a poem
Hooked.
in this one that was
There's
really great.
There's a poem
too.
in all of them.
Yeah, I know. There we go. Yeah.
Not all of them are good.
No.
Red foot, blue foot, blue foot, 2 foot.
One fish, two hobbit.
I actually put a note that the songs and poems have disappeared that I loved, and now it's just replaced with unrhyming poetry.
Yeah.
Oh, prophetic messages
Yeah.
from.
Just nothing rhymes. Nothing has like a song or bounce to it like it used to.
That's true.
I was like, I actually missed the songs and like the way that it was written before.
the songs that made no sense
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I would take one of those now over like there's a zero rhyme. I thought there was no rhyme scheme before, and now none. The tempo of these don't even work.
Well, I actually really enjoyed the one in this chapter because
Read it.
it's pretty long. You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is pretty cool because this is like a known prophecy that Elrond is having Aragorn remember. Now, about the seer, he said this like hundreds of years ago.
Old Numenor in Arnor in the fallen kingdom of the north.
Yeah.
This was like their Nostradamus. It was
Basically.
like, by the way.
So this is one of his prophecies that have been written down and memorized by learned people for centuries.
I thought it was very strange that Aragorn had this memorized. It's quite long.
Well, he probably was made to study it in Rivendell
I guess so.
because when you read it, you'll see why.
Over the land there lies a long shadow, westward reaching wings of darkness. The tower trembles. To the tombs of kings, doom approaches. The dead awaken, for the hour is come for the Oathbreakers. At the Stone of Erech they shall stand again, and hear there a horn in the hills ringing. Whose shall the horn be? Who shall call them from the gray twilight, the forgotten people? The heir of him to whom the oath they swore, from the north shall he come, need shall drive him, he shall pass the door to the paths of the dead.
This is clearly about Eric.
Yes, Eric.
No, but this is
fucking
basically what Aragorn does.
That's exactly what happens
Yeah.
in the chapter. And I read through it and I was like, woo, okay, I'm a little confused. Then I went back to it and I was like,
Which makes it more sense why Elrond's son like passes
prophecy.
Aragorn this horn is like, blow it
oh, the
now.
horn. Yeah.
Blow my horn.
God damn it.
What? He does.
Listen, Boromir's getting jealous.
And Aragorn's so funny because Gimli's like kind of like, well, it's dark ways, doubtless. And he's kind of like, this is bullshit. And then Aragorn's like, follow me and you will understand this poem better.
Yeah.
Like Aragorn knows.
Perfect.
He's like, this is my future. It finally is very clear to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know who needs a fucking song to learn what's in Aragorn's heart?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Éowyn, man. That
Poor
is
Éowyn.
so fucking rough.
That's her song.
Jesus Christ. It's so bad. Because no, for real, her like heartthrob, dark, problematic prince rides out of the night and is like, I've come. And she's like, me too.
For me?
Yeah. And he's like,
Phrasing.
Yeah.
the phrasing is perfect. Because he's like, no, actually, because I have to go down the paths of the dead.
You're in my way.
And yeah, excuse me.
It is really interesting though because she is dead set on coming with him, and then
What's all this
he
death
just
and coming
keeps, like,
shit?
turns her away over and what? I mean, Théoden's gonna die, man. Who cares? There's nobody there. He basically was like, "This is Théoden's decision, not mine. I can't do this. You swore an oath to him. You should do these things."
Again, I think it goes back to the twins. You cannot bring your side girl on your death ride when your main girl's brothers are there.
Oh my God.
But I think also too, like when Arwen in secret made him the banner, he just realizes what a steadfast partner she is, and I feel like it kind of reaffirmed like their relationship for him. Not that it wasn't reaffirmed before when he was talking to Éowyn, they had that kind of flirtation, but I think forever his heart was Arwen's, and
always.
and now that she's really getting attached, she's like, I gotta shut this shit down.
Also, can we talk about Arwen for 2 seconds?
Sure.
So she had contact.
Well, that's what
with-
happens every time someone tries to talk about Éowyn.
Oh.
Yikes.
So Arwen and Halbarad are talking, and she's like, "You're gonna go see my man, my husband," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go find Aragorn." And she's like, "Great, are you riding there?" He's like, "Yeah, of course. I'm gonna take the horse. It's gonna be a very, very, very long ride from Rivendell all the way down here." And she goes, "Great. Can you take this 14-foot giant wood banner with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, fine." That happened. That's not on the page, but that obviously happened.
Well, he
That
knows the
conversation
importance of it. And there's a reason she hid it from her dad.
That's like her being like, "Can you take this kayak with you on the horse?"
Well, to be fair, Halbarad had an extra horse. He brought Aragorn's actual personal horse.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, when was the last time this horse even saw Aragorn?
Like 6 months ago. It's
Yeah.
only been like
Mhm.
6 months.
Well, I don't know. That's just a long time.
It's like 6 months.
Yeah, it's a long time.
That's fair. I don't know where to take this.
Moving on from
but
I'm just saying, he made this whole personality kinship with
Yeah.
this Rohan horse,
yeah.
and then
No, it
he
wasn't
was
even
like
his horse.
fucking off with this other horse. That's
No, it
just
was
like
the-
he's betraying
it was
his
the-
horse love.
No, it was a dead man's horse, and Aragorn was like, "Okay, bye," and then got his horse, which is probably a better horse,
It could be.
and it came with a present.
I don't think it's a better.
prophecy. It
can't
came
be
with
better.
prophecy.
Because the horses of Rohan are the land of the horse people.
Mm.
The horses from Rohan are the best. That was established in the book.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But instead, his friend Halbarad's like, "Oh, by the way, I brought your like fucking rinky-dink horse from back home." And he's like, "Okay, cool. I guess I'll ride that." Dude,
He has to.
what do you he doesn't have to.
He totally does.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
It came all the way from home.
You gonna tell
Send
Halbrad?
him back.
Yeah, with who?
Away.
Bill-
Mary
Pony.
went the other way. But Bill the Pony, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bill Pony made it home just fine.
That's because of Tom Bombadil. Let's be super clear.
Probably.
Why don't we just short it to Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil?
Tom
Tommy.
Bombadil.
Yeah.
Tom Bobby.
Well, do we want to go back to Éowyn?
We should probably go
I feel
back
like
to
that's
the
where we
lady.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Éowyn got such a rough fucking deal this chapter, man.
She really did. She had such clear like wants and desires, and they were so justified.
Agreed.
And Aragorn had to shut every one of them down because they just weren't logical.
Yeah.
And that kills me to have the man be like, "Excuse me,
Correct.
let me use my logic."
Well, it's
Right.
but like
He was right. She was wrong.
I wouldn't say right
she
or wrong.
wasn't
She was
wrong. She's a
necessarily
victim of
wrong.
circumstances, but Aragorn points out the structural
The flaws in her logic.
not even the flaws in her logic, just the structures that are holding her to her duty. Because that's what she really wants, right? She wants to be able to do what she feels a warrior of Rohan does, which is go out and fight the fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Like option 1, bang Aragorn. Okay, that's off the table. Option 2, glory in battle.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally reasonable. But she's given a job. But she's upset because she's only given that job because she's a woman. And that job keeps her off the front line. That job keeps her out of battle.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
keeps her from doing the things that she feels she should be able to do. That
She's
she can
shoehorned
do.
into a role she doesn't want. And that's not
Mhm.
fair.
Right.
Éowyn knows how to fight.
Yeah.
She knows how to ride. She will kill people. She's just in charge of children.
Yeah, it's just that Théoden put her in charge of this. And until he returns, she is in charge of this. And that's
to me,
true.
it feels ungrateful.
Duty sucks, man. Like when you
Yeah.
got to just do a job and it's the last thing you want to do.
Without choice. She didn't
Yeah.
choose the job. She was born into it.
Mhm.
yeah.
And meanwhile, your heartthrob, your dark prince boy gets to off and like wander the paths of the dead or
To
whatever.
be fair, this is all Hamma's fault.
Kind of is. This would be Hamma's job 100%.
Yeah.
Well, no,
And
it's
then he elected her.
Éomer was supposed to be taken, and Hamma is the one that said, "Hi, excuse me, how about Éowyn?"
Yeah. He did. He put her up for it.
Théoden was like, "Oh, great suggestion, Éowyn, you're hired."
Can you imagine if Grima had been left in charge?
Oh, God.
Oh.
How about Éowyn? His little spaghetti tongue flipping around.
I'm sorry I brought that up.
I mean, I guess Éowyn has not played her role yet as a character that is really going to make much of a difference. But at the very least, if you are Aragorn and you are scared to take the only road out of the town that goes south, but there are 2 murderer brothers of your beloved there, and there is a crazy fucking horny chick in town that wants you. There's nothing better to drive you away and on the road you got to go on as soon as possible.
I was going to say,
she is the catalyst for him leaving.
If nobody from home who knew Aragorn or knew Arwen was around, do you think he takes Éowyn or lets Éowyn come along?
No, because part of it is like your duty was to stay here. What did he say? I could not grant you that without leave of the king and of your brother. Like this was their decision to leave you here in charge. And with them not here, I can't say, yes, I can take you. It's not my decision.
Okay. That's a cop out though.
No,
It's not.
So independent of that though, don't we get back to what's the whole purpose of the chapter is for Aragorn to summon the Oathbreakers, people who betrayed their trust, who didn't follow through with what was expected of them by their king.
Right.
That's a cool parallel.
So of course his council is going to tell her to obey her king.
Yeah. Aragorn's going to be like, I got a whole list of people I'm about to make unhappy about this exact same subject. You should probably just do your job.
Yeah. And like he has great respect for Théoden. Didn't he even like get down on one knee when Théoden and something happened?
He does bow to him.
Yeah, he bows down. Like he makes a big deal of having respect for the king of the area that he is in.
Which is super fun because remember how much of a fucking Karen he was outside of the Golden Hall?
Yes.
Well,
that is true. That's true.
Yeah.
but I think also too, it's also the age difference. Like she's so much younger and she can't see. It feels like forever. It feels like she's stuck in this role. And I think Aragorn also realizes like in 10 days, Sauron might win and everything might be over.
Or he will win.
Yeah.
Well, because even Arwen's message says that, right?
Right.
To when Halbarad delivers the message, he says, Arwen sends you a present, says all the days are short, but also all of hope and fate goes with you because either you win or we all die. Like you win or darkness wins. Those are the only outcomes here. It's a very binary situation. It is all of fate riding on Aragorn's shoulders. And now he's got to worry about this crush.
That feels like unnecessary messages to be sending.
I don't know.
Either you win or you lose.
But also don't dally.
And he was like, yeah, okay. I know.
It adds some urgency to the situation.
Well, she knows he can't make a decision, so she's telling him, you don't have time to dilly-dally. You got to go to the dead. Here's your banner, go.
Do you think she heard Elrond's message?
Halbarad pulled up, he wrote up, and he was like, Aragorn, I have a message. And he unfurled a fucking scroll and it said, hurry up. And then he rolled it back up.
The hour is nigh.
The hour is nigh.
No, do you think, though, that like when they were sending people out of Rivendell, Elrond was like, also, tell him I said, if time is short, remember the paths of the dead. And Arwen was just like, that bitch is going to delay. You tell him every day is short. You tell him now.
Yeah.
When he was in the Fellowship and trying to figure out what to do after Gandalf had disappeared, he was trying to figure out what to do on somebody else's plan.
Yeah.
He didn't know Gandalf's plan. And so now it's his plan. He gets to decide what happens. Before, he was just guessing.
He memorized his choice since childhood.
Yeah, now he knows. He's very clear on what to do.
I feel like Aragorn is always a better character and better leader when he's with his dream team.
He's with his dream team.
Gimli and Legolas.
Not the Dúnedain?
No, not even the Dúnedain. He says way back in the Fellowship, he's like, yeah, if I was in charge of the plan and we had to go into Mordor, I would take Frodo, Gimli, and Legolas if Legolas would come. The rest of you motherfuckers can go right on to Minas Tirith, and also Sam because Sam is a package deal. But he makes all of his best choices when it's just him and the boys.
Yeah. Most guys are that way.
It's fair though, right? Like, because if you look at that, he's now, though, to your point about the Dúnedain, Aragorn is surrounded by competent, powerful warriors, and he has a clear path. This is his ideal scenario.
He's also like, this is where he spends most of his time out in the world with Ranger, not like in the safety of the confines of a kingdom and a king. And it's like he's out in the world and every decision matters. Ranging.
Free ranging.
Yeah. Free ranging.
We got free range Aragorn. Those eggs are $5 each.
Cage free,
Gross.
which is a nice parallel to the caged Éowyn.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
She's
this
not
about eggs?
cage-free.
Always.
It's about her eggs.
Oh God.
Shriveling up.
If you rearrange letters of eggs, it's sex.
I was just,
Segs.
oh no.
God.
Do you want to keep either of them? We could just put them on the street.
One thing I want to bring up is somebody brings up that they look like elvish whites. But my question is that even possible? Can you even have an elvish white based on what the lore of this book has set up? What we know that when an elf dies, that it goes off to Valinor or whatever, or you know, like the way that the elves live their life. Even Legolas is like, I'm not scared of like a ghost. That's not like a thing to us elves.
So it's interesting to think about life cycles because Valinor, the undying lands, that's not necessarily where elvish ghosts go. That's where living elves hope to go.
Mm-hmm.
And for an elf, a person dying is a natural part of a cycle. So for them to just leave a ghost behind, a sort of a you know, what do you want to call it? Like a psychic reverberation, a ghost, a spirit, is just kind of like, oh, this human's extra stubborn. It's around for a little more. Like there is an afterlife in Tolkien's mythology, but I think the point to make is that the elvish whites line comes from the people of Dunharrow.
Mm-hmm.
These people of the Rohirrim who are not super well versed in elvish mythology. So they're just going to call a bunch of strangers at night dressed like elves elvish ghosts.
Sure.
I mean,
So we don't really know if an elf can leave a white.
I don't think they can. I don't have an answer for yes or no because it's not really clarified.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Good unanswered question.
He's a keeper.
Yeah.
I don't love the end of this chapter.
What?
It like legitimately bothered the fuck out of me.
What about it?
Right after all the stuff with Gimli's going on and Aragorn sees the body on the ground, from then on, the chapter sucks, in my opinion.
It's super abbreviated. It moves incredibly fast.
It feels like there were 7 more pages and they got condensed to 6 paragraphs. And there's not enough information for me to care. There's not enough conflict for me to worry about anything that's going on. You set up an entire chapter about, oh my God, you can't go to the paths of the dead because no one's allowed through. And he just rides through no problem. It wasn't like he approaches and everybody's like, don't do it. And he second guesses and he pushes through his fear through it. He just rides in.
Because the prophecy.
Halbarad's
I think when he reads
no,
the
you can't just
prophecy-
say just the prophecy. Like, I don't fucking care about a prophecy. I'm caring about characters living in a real world, going through real conflicts, real emotional conflicts, roadblocks, fear. There's much more at stake than the prophecy. Fuck the prophecy. What I need to know about is why these characters suddenly are useless and they're just pawns on a chessboard getting moved when they're facing, arguably, since Helm's Deep, the scariest thing that they could be facing. And yet there's nothing. There's no, we experience all of the terror of this through Gimli.
Yeah.
Which, sure, I get. He's scared. He's on his hands and knees crawling. Feels a little out of character that he's scared to go into a mountain. I like half buy in to that theory. But then Legolas seems on cue. Like I'm like, okay, he makes sense. He's like, I don't care about any of this. That makes sense. But I just felt disconnected from the story there. And I really felt that there was a disservice to the readers. I mean, he arrives, he goes, everyone who's dead, why are you here? Because they like come out.
Yeah.
And they say,
to fulfill our oath and
they
have
say,
peace.
to fulfill our oath. Oh, that was easy. Where's the big fucking Staples button? That was easy.
Well,
Yeah.
it's easy because it was Aragorn.
Sure. And not a single thing could have happened to make it a little bit harder, a little bit
saying it
difficult.
feels convenient.
Not a single thing could have happened. He could have stammered when he walked up. They could have walked up and said, "Who are you?"
Right.
And he went,
was
"I am
no-
so." And they said, "Prove it," or any fucking conflict or story whatsoever. I was immediately like, "This sucks." I'm sorry. There's not many moments in this entire series so far where I've been like, "This sucks." This moment sucked. What a fucking letdown this was.
I think that's it. It's a letdown, right?
It's a huge disappointment.
The direct parallel between this and the rest of the series is Moria. And there was 3 chapters.
Yes.
3 of the best
It
chapters
was
of this
incredible.
entire series.
I was looking forward to this so much.
And then, and then you're right. It kind of does just, it gets condensed down to kind of a nothing.
I wrote a note that was like, what the fuck is happening? They walk into the shadowy fucking door.
Mhm.
Everything's dark. It's hard to see.
The dark door.
Then there's a dead body. And Aragorn says, "I don't care about this." And you're like, that was random. We literally didn't need that. None of that mattered. Did not affect the story whatsoever. Because I know that because Aragorn tells us this doesn't affect the story whatsoever. I'm not even going to ask a single question. Moving on. It's like, okay, well, that was a waste of time. Could you have explained the interaction with the ghost a little bit more? And then even Legolas almost redeems this moment. And he goes, "Hey, the dead are following us. Isn't that crazy?" And Elladan is like, "Yeah, you dumbass." And he kind of like snarks at him. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm feeling the same way Legolas is feeling. And Tolkien is treating me like, "Yeah, you dumbass, keep up." And I'm going, "I am keeping up. You didn't explain anything."
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to feel like wooed or wowed that he suddenly rides out of the darkness with a fucking army of dead people after literally he walks in and he goes, "You want to fight with me?" And they go, "Sounds good." And they just leave.
Yeah. So
Fuck you. This whole story you're setting me up that Middle Earth and the words you speak matters. He doesn't have to prove himself. He doesn't have to do anything. That's ridiculous.
it kind of feels that way, right? Because we've entered the downhill portion of the story. There's no more time for that slow burn. There's no more time for those payoffs.
Yeah.
And it sucks that we can't still get them.
We got 8 pages describing the wind in the first book.
Yeah.
I think he could have come up with something.
I promise it gets different, if not better.
And I disagree with your interpretation of Elladan and Legolas. I think Legolas, like you said, is just observing kind of unemotionally. And he says this really cool line that the dead are following. "I see shapes of men and of horses and pale banners like shreds of cloud and spears like winter thickets on a misty night. The dead are following." I think the second the dead are following isn't just to like be melodic. I think it's like he's almost in shock then. Like they're really shocked. They're really following. And then Aladdin's response is also like, yes, the dead are following. Like he's like, yes, we are watching this prophecy come to life. Like it's more like the big moment of it. These two immortal beings are also in awe. That's how I read it.
Which
meant a lot.
In awe of what?
The dead not smiting the living and actually listening.
We didn't see that.
So
That's not what happened in the chapter. What happened in the chapter is he yelled something and they went, okay. And then they all
he's
left
the
together.
one that can control them.
I think we're mad at the editor right now.
Oh, I'm mad at any of this. Whoever put this together, maybe it was Tolkien, maybe it was the editor. Somebody at some point said, this is good. Send this out. Whoever made that decision, fuck you.
See one more.
They might have cut like 500 pages out of this book.
Yeah, like
That's what it
I
feels
feel
like.
like I'm watching the theatrical edit of something, and there's a plot hole, and this is a plot hole.
Yeah, because this is a
huge
really
plot hole.
badass moment in the story, and it does feel very rushed.
You're telling me that it's more important to spend pages and pages talking about the kinds of flowers in Eris. Pages.
Paragraph.
But you're not going to tell me the important stuff? Bro, Treebeard's fucking chapter?
Fuck you, Treebeard's awesome.
Sure, Treebeard is. Half the things he says, not awesome. He was a great character. Didn't need half of what was said.
Okay.
Yet here, we have an entire army of dead people. Not even the description of these, what they look like. Legolas half-heartedly describes, they have spears like, what is it? Spears like
thickets, winter thickets.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What's a winter thicket?
On a misty night.
So like a thicket being like a bramble or bush.
Mhm.
Just like sticks, like
So their spears are just sort of like mishmash.
or like a collection of like crisscross
forest.
branches, a
Yeah.
forest, like a nightmare forest.
So there's a lot of
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah.
But real quick, I just realized in this moment, Isildur even cursed the horses. My God.
Isildur's a
The
bitch.
dead horses.
That
I'm
explains
like,
why the horses didn't want to go in the caves.
Yeah.
Shit.
They're like,
But-
we're going to be stuck there forever.
now for this, Laura and I buy into the horse stuff.
Absolutely. No, I bought into the horses not wanting to go into that haunted fucking cave from the beginning.
Yeah.
Horses know
Yeah.
this shit.
I'll say this. If there is a defense that isn't just hang the editor, give me 500 more pages of this. If there's a defense of the second half of this chapter that happens so fast, it's that the focus is on the living and the dead are simply a plot device.
Sure.
I just liked the vibe of it. Like, yeah, I didn't get as much as I wanted, but it was still really cool.
You know what this was? Have you guys ever gone to like a fancy restaurant
And you get the tiny portions.
and you order the $65 fucking steak bouillon make, whatever it's called, and it's the size of your thumb on a plate, and you just go,
They give you the real steak portion, which is a deck of cards.
yeah, and you're like, this was a mistake.
I wish I had a quarter pounder.
That's what it felt like.
I loved it. I thought there wasn't as much as I would have wanted, but it didn't make me so mad as it made you.
That's because I read it.
Chris feels deeply.
Too.
I don't know if you did. You keep being like, who's Frodo? Like, I'm not sure you've been reading along with this podcast.
You.
Getting all cocky just because you remember the dragon taking out half the continent.
Oh, dude. By the way,
What the fuck?
my
If
man.
I know that lore, then you're definitely not paying attention.
No,
Because
I
your
thought it was
husband has said it
great.
about 85 times on this podcast.
Well, Chris, I have the answer. What was going to make it better is Laura's going to bring you out a treat.
Thank God. I need one. Hey, ready?
Chris's blood sugar is getting a little low.
I'll just ready. I'll pull a Tolkien. Say that one more time.
Chris, I know make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Laura's going to bring you out a treat.
And the treat was good. Hope you guys stay tuned for next week. We're going to talk about. Oh, you don't like that, do you?
I feel like something's missing.
I feel like a big fucking chunk of what's good is missing. The cool part. Let's get this treat going.
All right, you guys. What's an Oathbreaker's favorite cookie?
Oatmeal.
An oat.
An Oatbreaker.
Oatbreaker.
That is so cute.
So that's what I've made.
No H's.
No H's. This is an Oatbreaker cookie.
What is an Oatbreaker cookie?
So have you ever heard of a lace cookie?
No.
It's like a type of cookie that spreads out and gets really, really thin. And you can kind of like see through it if you hold it up to the light. So these are oat lace cookies. And I kind of thought like, oh, if you can see through them, that's kind of ghosty too.
Nice.
I'm not sure it really worked, but whatever.
Like translucent cookies?
Yeah, kind of. They spread out really, really thin. No, you have to take the whole cookie and hold it up to the light.
So
This
for-
is one cookie?
No, Christopher, that's a
no,
plate of
there's
cookie.
several cookies.
So for our listening audience, what my wife has made are cookies that kind of melted.
They're supposed to.
Right? No, it's according to plan, and I'm sure it's delicious. But they look like they just kind of like spread. They look more like dried candy than like a cookie.
They
Interesting.
do
That's
look
what
like
they're
candy.
supposed to do.
They're shiny. That's always an interesting aspect
Oh,
about
wow,
a
you
cookie
can-
is when they're shiny.
They kind of look,
You-
I feel like this would be a crisp.
You can see through them.
You can see light through them.
Yeah.
But if
That's
I
so
make this
cool.
like a eye patch, I cannot see through.
You will. Yeah, you'll fail your driver's test.
I can't wait to try them.
This sounds yummy.
It sounds yummy.
Oh my god, it's just sugar.
Are there nuts in this?
They're very
some walnuts
chewy in a
in
good
it.
way.
You know, I'm very allergic to nuts.
You're not.
See you
I
next
could
week,
be.
everybody.
I've fed you nuts before.
And I really like how thin they are.
I was kind of hoping for like the whole Oatbreaker thing to get kind of like a crispy break to it.
I'm going to eat the rest of these.
Go for it.
These are fantastic.
Oh,
Right? They're
I'm
amazing.
glad you like it.
These
very, very
cookies,
simple.
you were right, RJ. These cookies, this was the answer to my hangriness.
I know.
I'm okay with how the chapter ended now.
He's going to take back that tirade.
I don't take it back. I stand by what I said, but I'm okay with it, though. I've let it pass. I've entered the realm of yummy cookie.
Yeah, thank you.
So good.
Yeah, they're really good.
I made a lot of them.
Ow, no.
Whoa.
Those are mine.
You can't have more than one.
These are all mine. I claim them.
I was okay, well, now you can have 7 more cookies.
Come. Who are ye?
Oatbreakers.
Oathbreakers.
We come for pieces.
You're mine now. See? Isn't that not that exciting?
I was about to throw a plate of cookies at you.
You're just mine now.
They're going to fight for you in war.
Oh, listen, guys. That was a beautiful ending to this chapter. 2 chapters into Return of the King. We have chapter 3 next week, which is called
The Muster of Rohan.
The Mustard of Rohan.
Mustard.
No,
It's a food
muster.
episode. Oh, muster.
Muster.
The Muster of Rohan. Okay, that's a different chapter than I envisioned. The ketchup of Gondor.
Oh, no.
I'm getting very confused.
The Muster of Rohan is chapter 3. That's next week. So make sure you read that if you're planning on being caught up with us. Otherwise, you'll just have to listen to us explain it like we do every single week. And by us, I mean Patrice.
Hola.
Patricio.
Damn, that was a fun time. I got a little heated. I'm over it now that there's some cookies.
It's
I
important
tend to
have
get
cookies.
heated when Jert lets me down.
Because it's so rare.
It's so rare, but I will call out bullshit when I see it.
And I appreciate that because I'm such a different reader. Like if I like the story and the author, I will yes and with my imagination to make it work. I fill in those plot holes. I'll just go, oh, this makes no sense. But you know what? Let me justify it in my imagination.
We talked about this
You let some things slide.
40 weeks ago.
I don't only let it slide. I create things that aren't on
Yes.
a page to make it work.
Yeah, you
And then
literally
you're like,
make
where
up
did that?
reasons.
You're like, where did that come from? I'm like, oh, in my head.
You're like, remember Legolas like cried when he was talking about like that didn't even happen. But my point is
This
that
is
you
the
are
RJ
correct.
version.
We already established this in season 1. We're in season 3 now, but in season 1 we established that in this book, yes and will always work better than yeah but.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I had a yeah but moment.
You did?
Yeah, but what? You
It's
know,
real, though.
I'm hoping the chapter 3, I'm yes and the whole way.
Oh, fuck. What's that?
It's
God
stuck
damn.
together.
Fucking stupid bitch.
What's over there? It's definitely not me
I thought
stealing
there
a
was like a
cookie.
deer coming through the window or something. I
Well, that
got
was the
real
whole
nervous.
point.
Yeah.
But now I got a cookie.
It worked.
So if you haven't already subscribed to us, make sure you go ahead and do that on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a follow. We also have a TikTok and an Instagram and all that fun stuff. You can find us on social media with our clips there. Give us a little friend or friend request. We would love to keep chatting and talking with you. We have a lot of fun conversations on our different platforms with people. So unless you comment on YouTube, and then we will argue back. It's mainly just me getting very
YouTube is for
feisty.
scholars.
Yeah. But listen, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been an awesome episode of Fool of a Took. The one final thing I want to say here is that I am really excited that we already finished this book. This is the end of The Return of the King. It's
my mic.
over. We finished it. Did you guys want to know how things happened, or I just told you it happened? That was okay, right?
I mean,
I thought you let it go, Chris.
I will never let it
Thought
go.
this was fucking over.
Maybe you're a Sildor.
I will never. I curse.
oh, no.
He will never rest until he's fulfilled his
Until his editor
oath
brings
to
those
me.
chapters
He
back.
owes me an oath.
No, wait. No. That's the curse that George R.R. Martin gets.
Oh yes. I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for book 6 and 7, bitch.
We all going to be waiting.
I know.
Winter's not coming. Uncoming.
Winter came.
Winter uncame.
Uncome.
Winter uncome.
Winter uncame.
Bye.